So last week, what we worked with was a train in the middle way, and these are my notes. So yeah, I didn't have any crayons. I had some highlighters, and that was the best thing I could do. So after class, if you want to, you are welcome to spend some time reflecting upon what comes up during practice. It's a great way to integrate the practice. Today is July 17th, and the passage I chose from Pema Chodron is "Perfection is like death." So let's see what she has to say. We think that if we just meditate enough, or jogged, or ate perfect food, everything would be perfect. But from the point of view of someone who is awake, that's death. Seeking security or perfection, rejoicing in feeling confirmed and whole, self-contained and comfortable, is some kind of death. It doesn't have any fresh air. There's no room for something to come in and interrupt all that. We are killing the moment by controlling our experience. Doing this is setting ourselves up for failure, because sooner or later, we're going to have an experience we can't control. Our house is going to burn down. Someone we love is going to die. We're going to find out we have cancer, or somebody's going to spill tomato juice all over our white suit. Okay, so let's see what. So from this passage, we're now going to find two opposites to work with. And one, so what I'm hearing is, so one is perfection, and the other one could be fresh air. So perfection versus fresh air. So you can work with the same concept, or you can pick something else. Okay. Here we go. So finding your seat, sitting up tall, lifting the toes, lifting the heels, looking at your feet, bringing your mind into your physical body. Notice or sense the connection between the soles of your feet and the floor. And then come to stillness. Notice the two sitting bones, and maybe allow the sitting bones today to stand for the two concepts. So one would be perfection, and the other one would be fresh air. So perfection and fresh air. Perfection and fresh air. Two opposite concepts, like black and white. And then finding stillness in between. Maybe use your fingers to gently tap at the crown of your head. Maybe imagine how you open up the Sushumna. Open up the Sushumna, the core of you that is in constant contact with the universe and the earth. We might not notice it. And then imagine how you use your breath to clean the Sushumna, like a chimney, the chimney inside of you. Clean the Sushumna. So imagine how your inhale goes like the straw in you, up and down, to clean it, to rinse it, and improve the connection to the universe and to the earth. So let's do that for a few moments. Okay, and then place your hands on your knees, and then starting the cat-cow movement. So we want that core, the sushumna, to be flexible. We want it to be strong, clear, and flexible. And you can imagine that it's close to the physical spine. Maybe exhale as you round and inhale into your back bend. Exhale, round, inhale, back bend. And then find your way back to neutral. And then look at your fingers or your hands, blinking, bubbling stars. Blinking, bubbling stars all the way up. Clasp the hands, turn them over, straighten the elbows, breathe. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. And then reach and reach and reach and reach. Are you reaching for perfection or fresh air? Perfection or fresh air? So working with those opposite concepts. And then reach, turn, and open up the arms. Look behind you. And maybe think about in the past, were you reaching mostly for perfection or fresh air? So what is your pattern? Do you prefer perfection or do you prefer fresh air? And then release. Maybe lift the shoulders a few times, lift and release. And then look at your hands again, blinking, bubbling stars. So our core is, in my imagination, is filled with blinking, bubbling stars all the way up. Clasp the hands, that feels funny. Turn them over, straighten the elbows. Breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. And then reach and reach and reach and reach. And then reach and turn, open up the arms, look behind you. And then, given your pattern, so what has been the consequences of your pattern, either perfection or fresh air? So too much fresh air or too much perfection? What has been the consequence? And then release, lift the shoulders a few times. And then bring the arms up in cactus. And then start to twist. So playing with these two concepts, imagine them as two opposites, perfection and fresh air. Perfection and fresh air. And then notice, what is your pattern? Is it perfection or fresh air? So that's like swimming with the current. Keep on doing what we always done. And then how do we create balance? Well, we swim the other way, creating a new pattern. Okay, letting the knee and the elbow to connect. What happens when we allow perfection and fresh air to meet? Imagine that there's a part of you that's a perfectionist and the other part is a fresh air person. And if the two of them got to meet and have a conversation, what would happen? And then stay connected, stay connected a little longer than you want to, staying in that difficult conversation a little longer, and then release, and then try again, staying in that difficult conversation a little longer. And then let's have all four connecting. You can stay here. You can straighten one, straighten both. You can play around. And then eventually release. Okay, with a wide and stable stance, we can explore these options. So I'm placing my feet outside the mat. So one part of me prefers perfection, and another part of me prefers fresh air. So what does it look like when I go too far into perfection and too far into fresh air? What does that look like? So exploring the opposites. And then what lies in between these two concepts? What lies in between perfection and fresh air? Maybe too much fresh air looks like a storm that just throws everything around, crashes houses and cars, and too much perfection, nothing moves. So what's in between perfection and fresh air? And then coming back to neutral. Now imagine perfection. Imagine perfection. Take your fingers, dip your fingers in paint. You pick the color, and then draw the image. Draw the image of perfection. Draw the image of perfection. What does that look like to you? And then release that image. And then pick the image of fresh air. Fresh air. What does fresh air look like to you? What does fresh air look like to you? And then release that image. Okay, now we're going to jump the feet together. So jump the feet together, landing in Tadasana. Look at your right toes. Open up the toes as much as you can. Dip the toes in ink and write the story of perfection. Write the story of perfection. Writing the story of perfection. And then step out wide, elbows to knees, fingertips together, lengthen the spine, breathe. In through the nose and out through the mouth. And then release the hands down, drop the head. Head is heavy. Inhale, come back up. place the right foot on the left knee. Use your fingers to open up the toes. Gently guide that right knee out. Seated pigeon. And then slide the knees together. Whatever leg is on top, that arm goes under. Give yourself a hug. And remember how much you appreciate yourself. And then finding your way to eagle posture, seated eagle. Okay, now this eagle is an eagle. It's the part of you that's a perfectionist. So look at this eagle, the eagle of perfectionism. What does it look like? How does it feel? And then allow that bird to fly away, fly away, fly away, fly away, fly away. Okay, let's look at the left toes. Open up the toes as much as you can. Dip the toes in ink. And then draw or write the story of fresh air. Write the story of fresh air. Write the story of fresh air. And then step out wide, elbows to knees, fingertips together, breathe. Now place the left hand on the floor and the right hand on the right knee. Inhale to lengthen the spine. Exhale, push into both hands and look up towards the sky. You can stay here, or if you want to, you can bring the top arm up towards the ceiling. And then bring the top arm down, stick it in between your arm and your leg, and hold on to the opposite ankle. Walk the left hand forward and look underneath your armpit. And then slowly come back, elbows to knees. Place the right hand on the floor, left hand on the left knee. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, push and look up. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, twist a little deeper. Maybe let the top arm come up towards the sky. And then bring the top arm down towards the opposite ankle. Walk the right hand forward and look underneath your armpit. Inhale, come back up. And then place the left foot on the right knee. Use your fingers to open up the toes. And then gently guide that left knee out wide. And then slide the knees together. Whatever leg is on top, that arm goes under. Give yourself a hug. And then find your way to eagle, seated eagle. Now, this eagle, this is a part of you that likes fresh air. Okay, so look at this eagle. What does it look like? Look at the feathers, the face, the eyes. How does it feel? And then release that eagle, allow it to fly away, landing on top of the next mountain. Okay, let's jump the feet wide. Blinking, bubbling stars again, all the way up. Clasp the hands, turn them over, straighten the elbows, breathe. Now imagine your arms as wings and your fingers as feathers. So spread those wings out wide, and then go out flying. Go out flying. You can fly anywhere you want, anywhere you want. So what do you see? Do you see mountains, rivers, houses, cars, boats, animals, people? What do you see? And then turn the palms up. Exhale, turn them down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. And this time bring the arms behind you, holding on to opposite forearms behind your back, if that's available to you. Now bring your awareness to any tightness or any part of your shoulders or arms that feel sore. And then use your breath to rinse, clean, and heal anything that needs to be rinsed, cleaned, or healed. And then release the right arm, shake it out, bring it up and over, and place the hand at the back of your heart. And then if you want to, the lower hand can start reaching towards the upper hand. And then release down. And then the left arm, same thing with the left arm, shake it out, bring it up, bend it, place it at the back of your own heart, and then allow the lower fingers to move towards the heart as well. And then release. Roll the shoulders a few times. Maybe back and then forward. Okay. Now we're going to build some strength in the legs. Ooh, that was a squirrel. Okay, bring the heels closer to your chair. Big inhale. Exhale. And come up to standing. I'm going to pick number 10. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Shake it out. Another big inhale. Exhale. Come up to standing. You can pick the same number or a different number. You can do the same thing, or you can add a little jump to it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Shake it out. Okay, this time we're going to stay standing. So a big inhale, exhale, and come up to standing. And this time we're going to stay here. If you feel dizzy, place your hands on the chair and stand here for a while. And then bend the knees and come back up to standing. Okay, breath of joy. 3 inhales, 1 exhale. Starting with the arms out wide. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, exhale. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, exhale. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, exhale. And then let the arms go. Let the arms go. So let the arms go. And you don't have to stay on the mat. You can do whatever you want as long as you don't hurt yourself or others. It's like we want to be fresh air, but we don't want to be a crazy storm. And then allowing the knee and elbow to connect. So having the part of you that's a perfectionist have a conversation with the part of you that is fresh air. And then finding the position of power, position of power. Feel your own power. The power of making choice. And then place your hands on solar plexus. Inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, open up. Inhale, bend. Exhale, open up. Inhale, bend. Exhale, open up, and this time stay open. Stay open. And then place your hands on your hips again. And then starting to build external support. So strengthening the external hips. And then lean and lift. And you can feel that both external hips are working here. And breathing as we do this. And then try the other side, lean and lift. And then eventually taking skillful action. Taking skillful action. Give yourself a kick in the butt and do something that creates more balance between the opposites, whatever that is. Okay, now we're gonna push away. So to create balance, we're gonna push away what we have a tendency to do too much of, so we can create space for what we need more of. So pick something that you want to push away to allow something new to come in to create balance. So it could be perfectionism versus fresh air or something else. Okay, so you pick what you need to push away, give it a shape, form, color, and then push that away. Push it away, and it's going to try to sneak back in. It's going to be very hard to resist, but you are winning. You are winning. You're going to push it away, maybe kick it away. And eventually it's going to be right sized, and you have created space for the opposite to come in and take more space. Okay, so let's celebrate that with 3 sun salutation. Okay, inhale, arms up. Exhale, up and over. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way back up. Exhale down the midline. That was 1. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, up and over. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way back up. Exhale down the midline. Last one. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, up and over. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way back up. Exhale down the midline, and then stay there holding your own heart in between your hands with self-love and self-compassion. And release. Okay, we're going to step back to warrior 1. So big toes to touch, heels slightly apart, starting in Tadasana. Inhale to chair, exhale to Anjali Mudra. Transfer the weight to the left, right heel comes off. Take a big step back, find the earth with your toes and then the heel. Both hip bones are pointing forward. When you have that wide and stable stance, that's when the arms come off. Place your hands in your back pockets. If you want to, you can bring awareness to your heart space. And then allow the heart to lead the way towards warrior 3. You can use the chair if you want to, it's right there. And then slowly come back to Tadasana. Okay, other side. Inhale to chair, exhale to Anjali Mudra. Transfer the weight, left heel comes off. Take a big step back. Find the earth with the toes and then the heel. Both hip bones are pointing forward. When you feel stable, you can bring up the arm. Warrior 1 observes without judgment, takes in all the facts. Release the arms into your back pockets and bring your awareness to your heart space. What does your heart desire? Allow the heart to lead, coming into warrior 3. And then slowly coming back to Tadasana. Okay, stepping back to Warrior Two this time. Inhale to chair, exhale to Anjali Mudra. Transfer the weight, the right heel comes off. Take a big step back, open up the pelvic halves. So now the hip bones are pointing out like this. One arm in the past, the other one in the future. Warrior Two. Flip the front hand, reverse the warrior. What did you learn from the past? Now bring all that wisdom with you into the future. How can you plan better for the future? And then come back to Warrior Two in the present moment. What can you do today? Hands on your hips, straighten the front knee, release the hand down towards the chair for Trikonasana. Maybe bring the head up, maybe bring the top arm up. What kind of blinking, bubbling star do you need to be? Rebend the front knee, find your way to Warrior Two one more time. Place your hands on the chair. And then transfer the weight forward and pick up that back leg. And maybe the same arm for Ardha Chandrasana. And then slowly bring the feet back together, bend the knees, and come back up to standing. Inhale to chair, exhale to Anjali Mudra, transfer the weight, left heel comes off, take a big step back, open up the pelvic halves. So the hip bones are pointing out like this. One arm in the past, the other one in the future. And you are right here in the present moment. Flip the front hand, reverse the warrior. And then come forward, place the hand on the chair, top arm comes up and over. Moving back to Warrior Two one more time. Hands on your hips, straighten the front knee, release the hand down to the chair. Gaze comes up, arm comes up, Trikonasana. Like a blinking, bubbling star. Hand comes down, gaze comes down, rebend the front knee, finding Warrior Two one more time. Place the hands on the chair, stay there for a moment. And then transfer the weight forward, pick up that back leg. Maybe the same hand comes up for half moon posture. And then slowly bring the feet back together, bend the knees, and come back up to standing. Okay. Let's start at the top of the mountain, finding mountain posture one more time. Now, so here you are at the top of the mountain, and there are crevices, and there's soil. So dropping a seed, add some water and sunshine, and notice how that seed is creating roots that go wide and deep. Transfer the weight, right heel comes off. And then when the time is right, allow that plant to sprout and grow, maybe into a tree or maybe into something completely different. You choose. And then eventually the tree grows old and tired and it wants to go back home. And then drop another seed, transfer the weight, left heel comes off, and allow this plant to grow into whatever it wants to be. And eventually this tree grows old and tired and wants to go back home. Okay, now place the feet a little wider than your hips, spread the toes, hands on the chair, release the knees down close to each other. Now think about perfection. Give perfection a color. Use your right thumb to get some color on your finger, and then draw a big circle, and then give the heel a little dot. And then go to fresh air. Give fresh air color, and then draw a big circle, and give the heel a little dot. And now mix the colors. And draw two big circles with both thumbs, and then place your hands in your back pockets. You can stay here, or if you want to, you can release the hips back and sit back for a few moments. And then come back up, untuck the toes, and then we're going to come out into child's posture. You can keep the knees close, or you can keep the knees wide. That's your choice. Inhale, come back up. Clasp the hands. Create a stable support. Tuck the toes. Lean into your support. Bring the knees off just a little bit. Create and work with strength here. Release down. And this time, bring the knees up, all the way up. Walk your feet forward to dolphin posture. Bend the knees. and come all the way back up to standing. Okay. So now, when we have prepared the physical body, let's see what we hear this time. So I'm going to read the same sequence one more time before the meditation. Perfection is like death. We think that if we just meditated enough, or jogged, or ate perfect food, everything would be perfect. But from the point of view of someone who is awake, that's death. Seeking security or perfection, rejoicing in feeling confirmed and whole, self-contained and comfortable, is some kind of death. It doesn't have any fresh air. There's no room for something to come in and interrupt all that. We are killing the moment by controlling our experience. Doing this is setting ourselves up for failure, because sooner or later, we're going to have an experience we can't control. Our house is going to burn down. Someone we love is going to die. We're going to find out we have cancer, or somebody's going to spill tomato juice all over our white suit. Okay, so with that in mind, find your seat, sit up tall. You can keep your eyes open or closed. Bring your awareness to your breathing. And we have about 8 minutes for a seated meditation. Here we go. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, move your head from side to side. Take a deep breath in, let it go. Bring your hands up in Anjali Mudra, holding your own heart in between your hands with self-love and self-compassion. Maybe bow your head in gratitude for this practice, thousands of years old. Thank your inner guide, your past, present, and future teachers, and all the people that are joining you on this journey. Open your eyes, raise your gaze, and thank you so much for practicing together this morning. Namaste. And now, if you want to, you can take your notebook or your journal and the two concepts. So the title was Perfection is Like Death. And the two concepts that I picked out were perfection on one side and fresh air on the other. So then I have the structure. And then after class now, I'm just going to lay down on my couch, think about this for a while, and see what are the words that come up, what are the images, and then I have some crayons here. And that gives me more self-awareness. That's what this practice is really about, gaining more self-awareness. And with that, I can make better choices for me in the future. And maybe you will too.